Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Neon Dynasty sealed video here on the channel. With the Arena Open coming up this weekend and the first day being sealed, I figured now would be a great time to show you some sealed strategy in the form of a gameplay video. I'm going to be going through my build and my build process so that if you're practicing for the Arena Open or if you're playing in the first day of competition, you'll have some idea of how to approach sealed with all of the nuance and differences that it comes with for this format. So let's dive in. If you do enjoy this video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more draft content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. So, opening up our rares first of all. Sometimes you will want to just warp your deck to play specific rares that you get, so we'll see what we have here. So, we've got Invoke the Winds, which is a very powerful rare, but it's really hard to get enough of one color to play a card like Invoke in Sealed. We have Goro Goro, Disciple of Ryusei, which is a very powerful card. Not that hard to get a modified creature, and so you can just start churning out dragons. Farewell is a great board wipe, and because Sealed tends to be a bit slower, you don't really have to worry about like taking the time to set this up as much. We've got Hinata, so we could potentially play that or splash it if we are trying to play Goro Goro and Farewell, so we could play like a Jeskai deck. And then we have this Otawara, which can be good if we play blue, and then Eater of Virtue can make it into pretty much any deck as long as we have enough creatures. So when you're playing Sealed, the first thing you need to keep in mind is that 2-drops are not the same, because you're not getting to draft these streamlined aggro decks, and so generally in Sealed the games are going to play out a little bit slower because people just aren't going to have the like perfect curve out decks because they aren't able to like select the exact card they need to fill out their curve or their combat tricks, and most importantly they're not going to have like 6 premium 2-drops. So the 2-drops that you want are the ones that are going to stay relevant later in the game, or that are overall just like rock solid cards. So like a card that's just a 2-mana 2/2 with like random ability, like for example Kitsune Ace, isn't really the type of 2-drop that you want because it's not going to really scale in the late game. When you draw it on turn 7, you're not going to have pressured your opponent sufficiently to be worth the cost of the late game Kitsune Ace, whereas in a conventional aggro deck you might play this just because you just need that density of 2-drops. I'll let you know when I find a 2-drop that maybe fits the other type of 2-drop that I'm thinking about. Let's see if we can find a little bit of a better one. So this is not really a conventional 2-drop, but it does kind of fit the mold of, it's a card that costs 2 mana that you could cast in the early game, but that oftentimes is still going to be really relevant in the late game. Goro Goro is a great example. It is a rare, but it's like the type of 2-drop where sometimes you just need to play it on turn 2 as a 2-drop, but in the late game it actually does something relevant. So 2-drops with activated abilities tend to be pretty nice for this. I'm going to go through the cards. I'm just trying to find a 2-drop in my pool that kind of fits my like example. Like a card like Papercraft Decoy can kind of fit that, where it's like in the late game if you draw it you can kind of get a card back out of it. It's just stuff like that. But so let's go through the cards. And so what I like to do is I like to start off by putting all of the cards into the deck that are like premium cards or cards that I'd be really happy playing. So like a card like and then you get a sense of what colors you have. So the only card in white right now that I'm like really happy playing is this Farewell. There are some other cards that are like playable, like this Narika can be playable, like Sunblade Samurai can be playable, Repel the Vile can be playable, but like the only card I'm actively happy playing white for is this Farewell. And if that's my only white card, then I'm not sure if I really want to end up in the color. Let's look at blue. So in blue, a card like Network Disruptor is one of the bigger drop-offs from draft to sealed. This can be a really good card in your like draft deck because you can like enable really good curve outs where you go Network Disruptor, ninjutsu something in, but you're not going to be able to assemble that synergy as much. So this is more of a, I'm going to check my deck at the end to see if it will be a good Network Disruptor deck rather than a premium card. Go Shintai, so we have a couple shrines. We'll have to keep our eye out for that. Card draw is a little bit better, so Sphere could be okay. It's just not like the sort of premium card that pulls me in. We have a little bit of removal in blue. So far, there's not like a crazy good card, but Behold the Unspeakable is the sort of card that's like really good if I was to play blue. Mirror Shell Crab, pretty nice as well. Overall, my blue's not looking exceptional though. I just don't have any like premium cards, no like incredible removal or things like that. Just like solid cards, and then I have this Behold, which is a pretty good one. So like in black, I've got a little bit of removal here. I've got the 2 Life of Toshiro Umezawas, which are pretty nice. I've got Assassin's Ink as a premium removal spell. So black has some pretty good stuff going on, but no like overpowering cards. So far, I'm not like loving the cards I've got in my pool. In red, a card like Simian Sling is just not going to work out as much. You're not going to be able to support it with aggro, similarly with the Kumano. Dragon Spark Reactor, you're not going to be able to build the synergy around that. Goro Goro, I would really be happy playing. 2 copies of Kami's Flare, a twin shot sniper. Heiko Yamazaki can do really good work in the right spot. So we've got a little bit of red. We have a Shrine red as well. Shrine Yoshintai. And then let's check out green. I mean, green is not looking too special here. We have Generous Visitor, but it's hard to support that. Orochi Merge Keeper kind of fits the bill. I mean, it's sometimes has enough upside to be worth playing this sort of 2-drop in your deck. A 2-drop that can get you into the late game, rather than one that has to be like good in the late game. So that's the 2-drop that we could consider playing. There's like a Season of Renewal. Overall, nothing too special. We have 3 Gain lands and 2 Uncharted Havens, so splashing could be an option. We have a Colossal Turtle and a Gloom Shrieker, and Thornwood Falls and Dismal Backwater, so maybe we can build something Sultai related, even though a lot of our best cards are red, or our removal spells are. Really not... Oh, we also have a Network Terminal, so this is a really relatively weak pool. We do have some like good rares, but like our white cards are just abysmally bad. White tends to struggle in sealed, so does red a lot of the time, because the aggressive cards don't really port over well to the format as much, unless you get really lucky with your opens. So we're going to be a little bit on the struggle bus. Your green tends to get a lot better, but we don't have good green cards. Like this is a good card, but like our rest of our green is kind of awkward, except for the like turtle and the Gloom Shrieker. This is a really interesting build here. I think I really do think that I've got decent like red options. It's just the problem is other than those like 4 or 5 red cards, I just feel like I'm gonna really struggle. I could always try to splash, but Goro Goro is not really a card you want to splash because it is double red to make the dragons. What if I played black, green, and splashed blue? I mean, it's not really great because my best blue card is a double blue card. I could play blue, green, and then splash red. If I'm going to splash a double colored card, I'd probably want to splash this Farewell, though. This is a really hard pool. It's sometimes you just have a straightforward pool where you just have like all your rares and your best colors, but I'm feeling like I have a lot of weak cards. I've got some 2-drops in blue. This card can sometimes scale into the late game. Maybe I'm supposed to play blue something and just go heavy blue so I can play Invoke the Winds. Maybe blue black. I could just play Sultai. I have the mana for it, I think. I would be giving up on my Twin Shot Sniper, my 2 Kami's Flares, and my Goro Goro. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do with the mana you're given. So let's just see what that would look like. We could still potentially splash red in this deck. Okay, we're going to put all of our slow stuff in. We are getting some pretty decent cards. I mean, this is a lot of cards that are playable at the very least. We could even consider splashing for Kami's Flares, but you generally would rather splash for like a late game card. If I was to splash, I'd maybe splash for Twin Shot Sniper. Kind of like doing that off of Bloodfell Caves. And like the fact that I have this Network Terminal. Goro Goro is pretty sweet. So let's see. So this is, if this is like a potential like option of build, I think it's probably the best I've got access to. I don't really want the kunai. So kunais are ways to have cheap modified stuff to help get this skyscraper out. I don't think I need the merge keeper. Also don't think I need Moon Circuit Hacker because I'm not really an attacking deck. Creatures do I have? I have 12 creatures, plus these 2 sagas. Enchantments. 7 enchantments, so I don't really want to play these Commune with Spirits or the Generous Visitor. What if I just played like the bare minimum of green? I mean, green isn't that good for me. It's got this Sky Turtle, which I can sometimes maybe cast. Kami. Gloom Shrieker. So maybe I just only play... I mean, what's Geothermal Kami working with? I guess some of my sagas it's pretty sweet with. Works well with Gloom Shrieker. Colossal Sky Turtle and Season of Renewal is like an infinite loop for the late game. Just constantly recur stuff. Just keep cutting my green down and down and down. And maybe I just go base red and splash green. And get to play this Goro Goro. And the 2 Kami flares. Then I play Grixis splashing green, because green isn't providing me any fixing here. And just have dabbles into red and green. It's typical in Sealed that you have good sideboard plans, and so like being able to side into one of these to like help mill my opponent out could have been interesting. I'm not in the market for Moon Circuit Hacker, I don't think. Farewell is such a great card, but I don't think I can play it here. So this is a decent build. What's my creature count looking like? Got 11 creatures. I've got a few sagas though. How many modify things do I have? I have a couple things that can modify. By a couple, I mean the Eater of Virtue. Maybe I would like to play those just so I have more stuff to trigger my modified on my Goro Goro. And then I could cut something like Prosperous Thief because I don't really have ninja synergies to enable it, even though it does help me with my mana a little bit. Cut the Invoke the Winds because I'm not going to be able to get quad blue ever. What am I even playing blue for? Mostly like this top end stuff. The Sky Turtle. Behold the Unspeakable. So maybe I just cut all of my random early game blue cards. And just play these 4 blue cards. This is a tough sealed build, as I said. Tough to determine what's optimal here. I mean, I just don't have tons of great blue cards. Like, quad blue is just so difficult. Probably going to have to play 18 lands here, just so I can have as many mana sources as possible. So we'll just factor that in by adding one right there, and we'll cut it down later. But I'm playing all the blue cards I want to play. I wish I could play this Farewell, but I just don't have any good white cards. I could play a Reckoner's Bargain. My creature count is already low. Could play Ambusher. Kind of sweet with some of my cards. How many artifacts and enchantments do I have? Enchantment 6, artifacts 10. This guy's actually pretty good in my deck. The Blade Blesser. How many artifacts do I have? 10. I still don't think I'm a good Dragon Spark Reactor deck because I won't be able to consistently cast it early. Haiko Yamazaki could be sweet. I'm slowly shifting more and more towards just playing like a black-red deck, which maybe isn't that bad. Is the blue splash even worth it for like the crab? The sky turtle can just be played as the channel thing. Off of very few blue sources. And then I play Jund. Jeez. So I have one blue card that I'm probably only going to play this Otawara for. And then the Thornwood Falls and the Dismal Backwater. I think that's probably actually optimal. And then my black and red cards. Sack an artifact to create a 3/1 with haste. I could play Explosive Entry, that's probably reasonable. Or not the greatest. Geothermal County can return an enchantment. Hopefully you're kind of seeing how I approach these things. It's like, how can I fit all of my best cards into a deck? Kind of realizing I have to get blue out of here because it's not really doing much for me. Kind of trying to fit all these like good removal spells in just so I can interact, and then as much value as I can, like Season of Renewal and stuff like that. Kind of my approach. Also trying to like only play super impactful 2-drops like removal spells and like sagas and cards that can replace themselves and things like that. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 18 lands. I don't really need this Smelter or this Dragon Spark Reactor. None of these black cards are particularly good. None of these green cards are like must plays. Okay, so let's see what the mana looks like in this deck. And my creature count, of course. So my creature count is 10, but I do have these 2 sagas. Heiko Yamazaki is pretty sweet because I can get back like Ninja's Kunai and stuff. I think I'm just going to play the 1 island to go with this Colossal Sky Turtle. I mean the Otawara. And then I have these 2 lands. So that's kind of like turning this into a spell almost. So what's my color count? 7 black, 6 red, 3 green. So currently I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black, 8. Let's go up to 9 black sources and cut that from green, obviously. So now we have 9 black sources, 4, 5, 6, 7 red sources. I'd like another red source. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black sources. 5, 6, 7, 8 red sources. For green, we have 3, 4, 5, 6 green sources. I'm going to count the Uncharted Haven because based on my hand, I'll know what I need. So 6 green sources, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue sources. So I'm pretty set on my colors. And I have this network terminal. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 18. I have 19 lands, so I'm going to cut a land. I think the Otawara is fine. So I think this is going to be fine, cutting a green. These are more late game cards anyway. This is double green, but I don't really think I'm going to be casting it all that much. I'm probably going to use the channel ability a lot more. So yeah, this is the build I'm going to start with. It's always open to interpretation. There's probably like some build that just goes heavy into blue. I just don't think blue has the quality of cards you need, other than this Behold the Unspeakable as like a good card. But like it's just really hard to play a quad colored card if you're playing like 4 colors as I am. Also Farewell is a nice card, but like there's just no white cards to support it that I like. Sure, there's like some random like aggressive looking cards, but it's just so hard to build aggro and sealed. So like my 2-drops would just be really subpar, I think, if I try to do that. I guess there might be a red-white aggro build where you play like these two guys, this thing, Subduer, Repel, that Samurai, Farewell. Then you get like Kumano, Simian Sling, all these red aggro cards in there. I just don't think that's generally going to work out very well. And yeah, we'll see how this deck performs. I'll catch you in the matches, and maybe we'll make some changes after we play a couple. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my content at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and a special shout out to those at the credits level. If you've never heard of Patreon, it is a site where you, the viewer, can go and pledge an amount of your choosing each month to my content to help me continue to make videos and also gain access to some Patreon exclusive rewards like access to my Neon Dynasty card by card tier list. If Patreon is something that sounds like it would interest you, it's also worth noting that there's no long-term commitment, so you don't have to lock in, and you can check it out, cancel at any time, or rejoin the Patreon if you decide to do so. You can find more information at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, links in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get to the matches. Hello, and welcome to round one. We certainly have a bit of a stew here with this hand, but I'm going to keep it. We've got a few lands. We have a Kami's Flare to help keep us alive, and we have 3 of our 4 colors. So we can cast a lot of the cards we're going to draw. Just going to hold the Kami's Flare. I'm not going to play Life of Toshiro. Ah, the opponent is also on that 3-color lifestyle. Okay, well, we're going to be able to beat that card. That's pretty sweet. This is one of the best rares in the set, if not the best rare, just because it's so cheap and just takes over the game. But we're going to be able to like kill that dragon with our Kami's Flare. Gonna gain 2 life. Yes! Huge. Well, this, our second copy of Life of Toshiro is always going to have some good usage, hopefully. Oh my gosh, I forgot this thing didn't have haste. I was going to attack with that, and then play this Heiko Yamazaki. So we have double black, we have a single red. We would need a second red to use our Goro Goro, but I think we're pretty likely to find a second red. So I actually kind of want to get a second green here. So that if we draw our Sky Turtle, we can cast it. Now if this dies, it'll give Trample to the Eater of Virtue. That card's pretty good. I'm saving this Assassin's Ink to kill this. Well, ain't that just peachy? That is a problem. Because they're going to be able to bounce their guy to their hand. I attack with Memory of Toshiro. They block with Fang, or this thing. I then get to buy it back with Gloom and play it again to kill their Fang. It's one way of advancing a game plan. It's not like... I kind of already have that thing held off, though. I'm just going to pass. Our season of renewal is a lot worse when we're putting an Eater of Virtue on all our stuff. As is Gloom Shrieker. Behold is a pretty good card. So I could channel this, Gloom Shrieker it back, equip. Yeah, I like that plan. Be able to give Menace to my bonus card. Still tough. They're just getting so much value. Punished by naming green with this. We have this. That could have named green. If we named red with this, we would have been able to hold up the twin shot sniper. Oh, I guess the Eater Virtue comes after the Menace thing from that. Can use this to get back their kill spell. Yeah, this game is so over. They're doing exactly what I want to do, but they have just better cards for doing it. They have like Blossom Prancer, 2 Behold the Unspeakables, Juking Defense the Temple. Like, their cards are just insane. So this is a tough one to win. I have a turtle. Oh my gosh, yeah, they just, I mean, this half of their deck that we've seen is like better than my entire deck. Oh my gosh, they put the Long Reach of Night. I'm just gonna save us all some time and concede here. This is a situation where if we were playing best of 3, I would take this sideboard opportunity to sideboard into that like janky looking white-red aggro version of the deck that I mentioned we might have, just because our odds of winning in a slower game against them are basically 0. I just think in general, our deck has some late game tools. We've got some stuff we can do. We have like the Goro Goro. We've got some good, like decent value plays. We have okay mana. It's just our deck isn't the greatest or anything, and sometimes you have to accept that and just be like, well, we aren't gonna have that card quality that the opponent has. They just have like insane card quality. But yeah, like we would side into that strategy and have like the Farewell in our deck. Just think this version's probably better. I should probably, if we lose this game, I'll build up that other version just so we can see what it looks like maybe. Or maybe I'll do it after matches. It's just not gonna be a very good deck, I don't think, in general. But it does have some stuff going for it in that it can take the meta from a different angle. So maybe once we're on our last life, I'll try it out. Because we do have some aggressive cards. Just tough to finish the job sometimes. I guess we would get to play our Goro Goro and our Farewell. Our removal is not the greatest. We only have the Kami, burn spells. I'll try it out after we're at 2 losses. Give it a little bit of time in the sun to see how it performs. That's one of the cool things about Sealed is there's often multiple builds that you can. I also think that last game wasn't a great demonstration for how our deck is going to perform generally, just because we were playing against like an insane deck. Like their deck was really powerful. Kiddo. We've got all our colors. This is a great hand. Like being able to play 2 copies of this card is a pretty nice incentive. Maybe Season isn't that good in our deck. Seems like it would be decent. This card is generally just not an issue. Like, I don't need to waste removal on it. Like, it'll hit me for 1, it'll filter their deck a little bit. But that's not gonna do much in the grand scheme of things. Like, if they're hitting me for 1 a turn, I'm not really concerned. It's the type of 2-drop that isn't that great in Sealed, because it doesn't really pressure them. It looks like they might be trying to hit land drops, so in this case, maybe it would have worked out better to kill it, but I just don't think that's generally a thing. Like, if they just play a 3-drop that matters more, it'll be way better to just kill that. Gonna wait till we find something to kill with this Life of Toshiro Nozawa. Or maybe we combine it with a Kami Flare to kill something sizable. Oh, perfect. That is something to kill. So now we get to kill this in response to a counter. So we're like getting a little bit of extra value. I could just kill this now. I am tempted. I don't really want to play this ambusher for a little bit because I want to try and get this thing back in my hand maybe. This can combine with Kami Flare to kill something with 4 toughness, so I might just take 3 here. Though the odds of them playing something scarier than this are pretty low. Got my 5/2. Lifelink. I have double black for my Assassin's Ink. Season of Renewal is such a non-bow with Eater of Virtue, it's insane. Questioning my life choices. Whew. Wow. I'm gonna get a mountain in case I draw Goro Goro. So now all my creatures are gonna have something. Season of Renewal is an embarrassment. I mean, it's just like, I could just not equip, but like making my guy into a 4/3 lifelinker is so much better than my next best option of just sitting there. Well, that's gonna have to die. Should be in good shape here, but I'm just not. This card's a blank, this card's a blank. I can play Goro Goro and make a 5/5 immediately. And I have my Season of Renewal loop with my turtle if I were to draw it. So the fact that this sword is keeping my creatures from the graveyard is super relevant. It's not the first time that's happened to me with the sword. Oh, yes. Lifelink and Death Touch. Ah! Tries to readjust in his chair, slips, falls, sadness. Sad day. There you are, Goro Goro. An attacking modified creature. Oh, they attach it to the eater. No, they attach it to the Blade Blesser. Dragon! Sure. I'll be able to get back Goro Goro, which is all that matters. This is now a lifelinker. Let's go. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. So I could play Season of Renewal, get back Goro Goro, and make another 5/5. So Goro Goro, the champion. Gosh, what a beating. What a beating that card is. My goodness. Wow. I kind of want to see what the aggro version of my deck looks like, but I also am like pretty happy with how this version's playing out as well. I think it's okay. It's also a very ambitious deck. Gotta love ambition. Ambition. It's got some better removal than the white one would have for sure. I wish you could save a build. What I'm going to do is the jankiest form of that, which I believe is Windows key Shift W to take a screenshot. No, it's Windows key Control S. Dang it. There's a shortcut for it that I always forget. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I've used it before. It's Windows key and then either Control or Shift and like W or something. But that didn't do anything. That's why I play Magic the Gathering instead of... Maybe it's Windows Shift S. I think I ever tried that. Oh, boom, there we go. It's Windows key Shift S in case anyone's curious. So we're going to take a quick screenshot of that deck. And then we're going to... Oh, yep, save to clipboard. That is true. Then we're going to cut all of the random black-green cards. And just see what red-white aggro looks like. Maybe we could even play the Walking Skyscraper. Okay, so we play both of these. We play the Regent's Authority for sure. Play the Kitsune Ace. Play the Subduer. Play the Narika. Play both Befriendings. Play the Repel. Play the Samurai. Play Farewell. Play Kamano. Simian Sling, Aki, Ronin. Quick check of the artifact count. 8. Tough to justify playing this card with only 8. I kind of want to get this Brute Suit in. And this is only with 7 lands, so... We have enough playables to make it work, maybe. So let's just see how this one would play out. 16 lands plus a Sunblade Samurai. We'd have a lot of 2-drops. Some good early interaction removal spells. Some Befriend the Moths for evasion. Farewell, Ironhoof Boar. I don't know if we could use the Smelter, but we could turn these kunais into 3/1s. Man, this deck actually looks kind of sick. Not gonna lie. It's just about what to cut now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2-drops. The worst one is the Aki Ronin, I think. So that's 7 2-drops. Brute Suit's not very good. Walking Skyscraper is kind of cute with all of the cheap equipments we have. The Kitsune Ace doesn't do anything for us. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts. I kind of like, I mean, 6 2-drops. I think that's a fine number. We probably do need to repel the Vial, but I don't like having to play it. It's just kind of an inefficient card. We don't really have any answers to big stuff. We cut the repel, cut the explosive entry. Just rely on our aggression and our wits to carry us past big blockers. Kind of like the Walking Skyscraper in this deck. Probably not correct, but I think it's kind of cool because we do have, I guess, not that many ways of putting counters. Yeah, let's try it like this. I kind of like this build. We could play another 2-drop, but I like having these combat tricks. We have 2 1-drops that are pretty good. We have several good equipments. We have good burn to the face. We even have Farewell at the top end. The Samurai's like mediocre, but we'll make do. Makes you actually pretty excited to try this build out. Oh man, this one actually looks sweet. I mean, we got good aggro going, which is hard to do in sealed, and our card quality is probably just lower, but we have such a good game plan that we might be able to steamroll some of the slower, dirtily decks that aren't ready for the Samurai Thunder. I mean, is anyone ever really ready for the Samurais? They're devastatingly powerful, as everyone knows. Because Iocane comes from Australia, as everybody knows, as everyone knows. Just always a reference to the Princess Bride. There's always one to be found. You just have to look hard enough. CLQ is actually firing pretty well, which is nice to see. Good to know that there's people enjoying multiple different formats. They've got an aggro avatar. That could mean anything. They could be trying to double bluff us, or they could just be an aggressive foe. Okay, we are going to pick red with this. Get the decoy going. Max punished immediately. They have 4 colors by turn 3. They have played perfect defensive cards every step of the way. I think 3/1s isn't as appealing. This is the problem with trying to be aggro, because they just play a Spirited Companion and you're just toast. Oh, now they've buffed it, so it's less embarrassing to trade with. Oh, of course they have another one. Of course. But of course. Okay. Nice. I don't want to just put this on the Simian Sling attack with all of my 2-drops. No, I'll put this on this thing. Attack with these 3. Do as much damage as I can while I can. Goodbye. So Kenzen's Melter. We hardly knew ye. Well, Heiko Yamazaki's actually a pretty good draw here. I was gonna just equip this there and then have up the Papercraft Decoy potentially dying into something, but I can't actually get anything back yet, but I'll be able to start buying back this kunai potentially. What? That's kind of funny. I'm so sad. Exiling all graveyards is actually kind of bad for me. Oh, that was a really good draw. That was such a good draw, oh my gosh. You must attack alone, Heiko. Now the question is, do I get back Simian Sling or Papercraft Decoy? Papercraft Decoy looks more appealing, but I think the Sling is actually better. It's going to slowly ping them down. And I'm going to just put my kunai on the table. They'll know I have it, but the Sling is going to make it annoying for them to deal with stuff. This will be a 3-9, I mean 3-5. I guess they'll kill the Iganjo Exemplar. Gosh, Life of Toshiro is really good against me. Oh. Ah! No! Not Heiko! That was going to be such a sick play. So I can kill them next turn. So I need to unattach, equip, zap them for 3. So they have to draw an answer to the Imperial Moth. Hopefully they don't. Please! This has gotten so rough for me. They literally have like 4 colors on turn 3. They're like doing it all. But we have such a sick line to kill them too. It's gonna be sweet. No! Do you really have a way to kill them all? Don't do it. Nobody, please. You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding. No! They had a rare land to keep themselves alive. Oh my gosh. And they're not dead. Oh no. Unless I draw a land. Holy heck. Oh my gosh. It gives reach. Are you kidding me? What is this madness? So I'm going to play the Befriending the Moths. play... Kumano faces Kakazan, so they're at 5 now. Next turn, I'll be able to force my way through this thing. Yeah, using moths and equipping this to that. So they just have to whiff for a turn and just draw something irrelevant. Oh, I got him to 3. Are you kidding me? They're at 4. I mean, they're 1 off of dead. Oh my gosh, it's insanity. Man, they're just barely alive constantly. I've got them dead next turn too. Even if they kill the Sunblade Samurai. This thing comes into play with haste. Equip. Attack. After attacks, unequip the Simian Sling. Equip the Ninja's Kunai to it. Snipe them with the Ninja's Kunai. Oh, the equipped creature has the ability. Oh my god, please don't have instant speed life gain or something absurd.
I'm not overconfident. I am almost sad to see you go.
You gain 2 life with that ability? Are you kidding me? What? What? Whoa. How? What is happening? Am I gonna lose?
Show them how we greet our enemies.
I don't have double white. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, if I had... Oh, I could have... I guess I would have killed everything if I had chosen enchantments. But the fact that I didn't have double white is kind of sad. Wow, we got the win. Yes! The aggro deck coming through. This deck is sweet. Oh my gosh. Not gonna lie, that felt a little bit more, like... It felt more streamlined than the other deck that I was playing for sure. Obviously, like, my opponent did some pretty annoying stuff against it, and I still managed to pull through. Got decent ways to spend my mana, I've got some combat tricks, my removals, mediocre, but I've got some burn. I still kind of like having this as the profile art. It kind of looks cool with, like, the red-white, like, mana symbols. I don't know. This is one of the cool things about Sealed is there's a lot of different builds. You can always try something. Get up to a little bit of a spice. Wow. Sometimes you just gotta try different things. Beyond the warpath, as they say. The queues are relatively short considering it is sealed, but it is still a little bit longer than I like for queue times. It's not really a huge deal, though. I don't really have any control over it, so I just make the best of it, you know? That's how it goes in life. If you can't control something, you either exit the ecosystem and are like, well, I don't want to deal with that ever again, or you persevere in some way. And you're like, well, I can't change this. Is it actually making my life that much worse? Not really. 30 seconds of just hanging out and chatting with you folks. It's like, and I get to make a sealed video, which is pretty cool for Arena Open fans. Or folks who just happen to like sealed. Okie doke. I'll lead with the Kumano, I think. Are we, or would we rather get the Noriko with the counter on it? And I'm going to play the Kumano first. I could still get a counter onto a 2-drop, because I could just draw a 2-drop, which would be ideal. But getting a counter on Sling isn't the end of the world. It's fine. Nothing special. I'm just going to play into whatever they have. If they have a board sweeper, they have a board sweeper, and I'm going to lose. But, you know, I like having 7 power in play when they have nothing. This is one of the benefits of Sealed, is they're going to build their deck more slowly, and you can punish them with aggro sometimes. Ah, yes, Tsugu. So I can either attack all, they block Noriko, I Iron Hoof Boar, trample over for 2, and they take 4 more. Or I just Simian Sling this. I think that's better. Is it better? Getting the Hidetsugu off the field is pretty nice. Just gonna spend all my mana. Synthesizer, okay. Nice. Going to attack all. That's just insane to me, the fact that they wouldn't block. What were they afraid of? Another combat trick? I mean, can they beat another combat trick? Going down to 5 when I have a Ninja's Kunai in play sounds risky. Also a Simian Sling. Like, if they block the Etching of Kumano, they don't have any creatures. I still have 2, but they're at 7. So yeah, but then they Assassin Sink this, and it goes so much better for them. They're gonna gain 2 life. That's not as good for me. Okay then. Man, I'm 1 point of damage off of killing them. I think this is better. Anna. They're gonna gain another 2 life here. But now I threaten lethal next turn if they don't put up a blocker. Okay, they got a blocker. That's not ideal. We're gonna hit for another 3, go up to 7. This is tough. I think that attack was okay. And again, I'm really in trouble here. The only Cold Anvil makes this really tough. Kind of forces me to pressure them. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they're gonna just jump block with their 1/1, I think. Man, we were so close to winning this game. We were like 1 point of damage off for like 5 turns, and they happened to have like an absurd amount of life gain. Real bummer. I could still win this if I draw my Goro Goro. That's my only out now. Could also just clear the board completely with my farewell. Kami's Flare. Three damage to this, 2 to their controller. Bummer. Dang it. Again, if we'd drawn like slightly better at key moments, I think the deck would have won. We're not out of it yet. We still have like some chance of drawing what we need. If we draw Farewell, we can get rid of everything they have on the board. Deleted life total discrepancy. And that. Nope. Man, that was so tough. That was a brutal loss. Not gonna lie. I'm disappointed about that one. I think the deck almost got there. I don't think I could have done anything differently, really. I mean, there was that one turn where I attacked, and then they gained, like, 4 life again from their ninja. But they just started drawing too many pieces that were good against my, like, last, like, little push for damage. Like, I was getting them really low so that I could ninjas kunai them out. But then they stabilized. Maybe I wasn't supposed to play the ninjas kunai, but I kind of needed to be mana efficient. I had, like, 6 points of burn, but then they gained, like, 10 life over the course of 2 turns. I think I'm going to keep playing this version of the deck, though. I think it's more fun. That was just unlucky, though. Just unfortunate. If they hadn't had the ambusher, the ninja that gains them life, I would have won that. Or if they hadn't had the Oni Cult Anvil, either one I would have won. But, you know, sometimes they just draw perfectly down the stretch, and you draw a bunch of lands, and there's nothing you can do. Could have maybe played some stuff slightly differently, but overall they just had cards that lined up well with me at the end. The Life of Toshiro, being able to gain them life, really hosed me as well. That turn where they played the guide bot and didn't block, I was like, wow, this game's over. And then really fell apart there. Just didn't draw any action really for a little bit. If I'd drawn one of the moths to give my guy flying, I could have won. A lot of outs. They drew a kill spell for my 4/4, I think. Just an ouch all around. It happens. Everyone suffers from those. Not a high stakes match. His artwork is pretty cool, though. I'm really getting to admire it while we wait for the Unifier. That sounds very aggro, but I'm not even kidding. The art's kind of neat. Kind of very... I don't really have a word for it. Just kind of neat. We'll keep this. My deck wants to be on the play with a 2-drop, but you can't always have a 2-drop if you only have 6 of them in your deck. I'm tempted to just cycle this. I can eventually get it back. Make sure I hit my land drops. I can then just hard cast the boar potentially. Come at me, bronze plate boar. I'm ready. Maybe they'll use their terrarium. No blocks. I'm gonna play both of these. I am then just gonna attack. I think just adding the most power to the board is nice. I could have just played my Heiko, but I don't have anything to get back with it. don't really want to just let them know that I have this Regent's authority. Still don't want them to know I've got anything. Kind of cutesy here. They don't want to block other impressions traders. Interesting. I wasn't really prepared to use the Iron Hip 4, but I was pretty fine trading these off and getting my 1/1 out of the deal. Am I dead? No, right? There's no way. This card is so weird. I don't think it's that good. Oh my gosh, are they really? That's what their plan is? I'm not going to cast the Iron Hip 4. I'm just going to use it to blow out their whatever double block they're planning. Not really their block. Okay, yeah. Whatever the bronze plate war block, pretty much, I can get some nice value on. So they're currently taking 6. So they're currently taking 2, 4, 6. So if I buff up this thing, they would take 1. So that'd be 7. They'd take 10 and go to 1. Oh, that's so close. That's so close to what I would like. I don't even lose this guy, but they'll get to keep it 2-2. I just want to kill as many of their blockers as possible. So I'm going to be getting another card and that. Oh, what a draw. The sling. I could have put them to 1. They would have had an extra blocker. I would have had my 2/1, but I wouldn't have had this 1/1 token. It's tough. So if I exile all creatures, yeah, that wouldn't work. Are they dead on board? Might as well try, right? They block. Eat that. Jump there. Trade. They're dead. And there's the ping from the sling. Yay. The reason I equipped is because this way, if they have a removal spell, they have to use it on this samurai mid-combat. It would have been very cute to go for the farewell, exile all creatures, and then my Simian Sling comes back as a creature and I hit them for 1. That was an option as well. And then I have Gorgor as a follow-up with haste for the next turn. Huh, that could have been good. It does lose to a single removal spell, which was what I was trying to play around. And by equipping it up, they have to use the removal spell after I've attacked, and then the next turn I kill them with the Sling Ping. Ah, yes, the Sling Ping. Nice. This deck has at least ensured that it's not going to have a negative record. So 1-1 with the first deck. Currently 2-1 with this aggro version. Feeling pretty strong. Feeling pretty good about the way things are going. First, I don't know why I looked over my shoulder like that. It's like I'm looking for an audience or something. Come, cheer my improvisational song. Bum, bum, bum. Hmm, 49, 50. Pretty long queues, but it's been generally less than a minute and a half, which is fine. Yeah, speaking of singing. Never mind. I write Magic parody songs for fun sometimes, but I don't have like the ability to perform them, and so it's just like a copyright nightmare actually making a video of it. But yeah, I do have a few in the arsenal that I have enjoyed making. Just a fun little creative challenge. Some of them I wrote a while ago, so like the references are a little bit older. This is a good hand. We're going to start with the Iganjo Exemplar, hit them for 3, play Norika, start hitting them for 4 a turn. No, the Iron Apprentice. My apprentice. Oh, yes, Norika and Heiko. Chill. You gonna ninjutsu something? Are you kidding me? Oh. I'm so weird about the stupid 3-2 ninja. Okay, Norika actually looks great here because it can get back this Iganjo Exemplar, and if they block my combat trick, it's so good. So good. And they won't see it coming because it's just like the perfectly disguised combat trick. Oh, yes. Take that, Ironite 1000. Your flames shall burn eternally. Also, they used a Master's Rebuke to kill my 2-1, so I'm feeling pretty good about that removal exchange. Whew. Heck yes. Oh, baby. Feels good, man. Yes, feels good. Name is Bond. James Bond. That's gonna be a good follow-up. Like, they have no reason to double block here. Like, if they double block here, I'm just like, well, that's fine. So I just get to dumpster them like, oh my gosh. Wait, if it gets a counter? Or legendary creature, let's go. I wasn't counting on getting the counter, but that's huge. I should read my cards more. Let's go. Oh my gosh, this card is sick. I was like, man, I wish Narika was an enchantment creature. That'd be really nice, even though the flavor makes no sense. But it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. I get to really live that dream. Oh my gosh, too much value. Too much value. It's clobbering time. I'm not gonna... I could put this to the skies. I'm just gonna be safe and put the Narika to the skies, though. Because they could have some, like, random 6-drop that's, like, really scary that they, like, put the counter on the merge. They, like, chump block my ground attack. So, like, it's 1 less damage. But I don't want to give them the option of chump blocking. I am slightly worried about them doing something like crazy with like the 2 bonus mana they could get from the Merge Keeper or the extra mana. Just accelerates them an extra turn, and yeah, that was my logic. Looks like they're doing terrifying things there. The horror. Mana efficient. Game red in case I draw Goro Goro. Goro Goro. The hero that we needed. Yes. Ugh. Another befriending the moths would be good here. Yep, Sky Scraper. Huh. That is one problem. Sometimes makes you wish you had saved your befriending moths. If they do attack me, they are in slight trouble, though. I guess giving them that extra counter on the Merge Keeper would have been pretty problematic because they could have got this a turn earlier. There's also an interesting point. Oh my gosh. Name artifact. Boom boom. None of my guys die. If I named artifact and enchantment, I'd lose 2 of my guys, but they'd also lose this Goshen tie. Oh no, I'd lose 3 of my guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna name artifact. Farewell. Oh my gosh, I wasn't even thinking of the card name. Yeah, that worked out. And then we shall attack all. Yes! Farewell is so hype! I was so wrong about that card. I thought it would be slow and clunky. Though, to be fair, when I first read it, I thought it was choose 1 instead of choose as many as you want. So, that is a factor. Even then, the card is performed. From what I've seen and from what we just witnessed. Oh my gosh, this version is sweet. It is kind of cool. I'm glad I got to show off how to kind of build that 4-color variant, though. I think I built it pretty well. Just like trying to cobble together all the cards I liked. And then this version just like, stand aside. You may have gone 1-1 with the other version, but this version is now 3-1. So, feels good. Do I still have the walking skyscraper in this version? I don't think I do. I think I cut it because it doesn't make any sense to play that in this deck, but it is kind of funny. If I was looking for a mana dork, would I go with Orochi Merge Keeper? No, I don't have a song that pairs onto. Oh, gosh. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this aggro variant. When you can build aggro in sealed, it's quite powerful because you can just really leverage the fact that your opponents are going to have slower decks a lot of the time. So, like, our opponent didn't really cast anything for the first, like, 4 turns of the game in one of these matches we played. And that really helped us out. This one, our opponent used a Master's Rebuke on our 2-drop because they didn't want to fall behind. And then we just continually wrecked them across the board, which was nice. Oh, yes. We will keep it. Goro Goro shall carry us. In Goro Goro we trust. Nope. We're going to wait on playing him for as long as possible. We're probably going to try and Kami's Flare this thing. If they play a Plains, especially. Green red. Not as worried about this card in green red, not gonna lie. Rather just get my own threat going. If they want to kill it with something, they can kill it. But that thing they're going to kill it with can no longer kill Goro Goro. And that's what I care about. Goro Goro must be saved, must be protected. Aha, your voltage surge has been used. Your sacrifice shall not be forgotten, Sir Kenzan Smelter. Goro Goro shall carry us. Oh, then they have a Plains. Oh. Interesting. Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, we are going to use the Kami's Flare this time. Just gonna wait to see if they tap out for something first. Maybe we'd rather kill that and then kill this thing later, or just not kill it at all. It is just a 1-1 after all. An innocent little 1-1 creature, surrounded by acorns. Acorns that are somehow flying around with tassels attached to them. I am intrigued by the narrative, I must admit. Also by their mismatched basics. It bothers me a great deal. Not really, but it kind of does. Okay. Ooh, a text message. I should mute my phone while I'm recording videos. I just get so excited, you know? It's just such a happy feeling. You're like, yes! I'm so popular. Every time. Oh, gosh. Oh, Twitch chat. Yes, the Ninja's Kunai! The perfect card for the perfect situation. Heiko Yamazaki, the general, shall wield the Ninja's Kunai to allow Goro Goro to make a 5/5. The hero we all deserve. Man, my reaction to getting a text message actually is just so nice. I'm just like, oh! It's like something that could be memed out of. Oh my gosh. If anyone in Twitch chat has a favorite song, not Twitch chat, in the YouTube comments has a favorite song, I'd be interested to hear it. Always interested in a favorite song. Oh, farewell. We're just gonna go full on. Hope for the best here. We can attack next turn, make a dragon, trade in the Heiko for a dragon. No, not Goro Goro, please. He just wants to live. He's a good goblin. He's one of the good ones. No! No, they had a backup voltage surge. I knew electricity would be my downfall. Sad day. So much pain. I draw planes, my subduer can allow my Haiko to attack, and yet, because he is not an artifact, I cannot return my friend Goro Goro. Goro Goro is gone. I feel like I've won all of my games because of Goro Goro. I also just like saying Goro Goro. It's very fun. It's a very entertaining name to say. The disciple of Ryusei. The goblin that became a samurai, only to die to electricity. They didn't attack. Interesting. Oh, yes, the flames shall speak to me. I'm gonna kill this when I get the opportunity to. I shall throw the ninja's kunai at it, and I shall Kami's flare it. Actually, I shall Kami's flare it first, so that I deal 2 bonus damage to my opponent. Oh, yes. Oh, you have a fight spell that you want to use. Go for it, buddy. Let's see how it works out for you. I'm ready. Even if they had the Tamiyo's card, not the other world. Nice. Imperial Subduer as the follow-up. Never has an Imperial Subduer looked so hype. Oh no, they're gonna kill my Haiko. No! Not Haiko Yamazaki! He's all I have left. He's the only one left on the board that remembers Goro Goro, at least among the friendly nations. This generous visitor is dispensing acorns and electric shocks with equal vigor. Oh, yes, that's a good card to draw. Oh my gosh, so good. I'm gonna wait on this guy. Just a tad. See if they have some sort of way to kill my Haiko. Getting back the kunai is nice. This thing can combine to deal with a 5 toughness creature. And the subduer, and now I have an infinite lightning bolt engine. Yes. I'm glad I didn't panic and kill this thing on turn 1, because it has been useless. I wonder what they're splashing green for. If their only green card is Generous Visitor, that would be very strange. No, the synthesizer. Every time my opponent plays that card, it dumpsters me. No, there's so many journeys. The Generous Visitor is finally getting its day in the sun. A counter shall be distributed. I don't know what to do. Actually, I do. The ninja's kunai shall be used to slice this evil visitor. I shall avenge you, Goro Goro. Your death shall not be in vain. Oh my gosh, are they gonna flip a card off Synthesizer just to get a 2/2? Oh my word. They are going to flip a card just to get a 2/2. It's a land, they can even play it. And knowing the Mad Lad, they're gonna flip a land because they're just that powerful. Oh my gosh, Milano Lawyer, don't do it. I hope you flip your bomb rare. I hope you flip your own Goro Goro to justify the suffering you've put me through. Oh my gosh. Despicable. Goro Goro has been killed. And you're over there looking for plants with Azusa. And acorns. The horror. There we go. 'Tis only right and just. Okay. Infinite lightning bolts. I could have, like, discarded this thing and then brought it back. But I like the idea that I can deal with a 5 toughness creature. Like, if they play a Greater Tanuki here. Also, why would you play your land first? There is no justice. There's no way they flip a land here and get max punished, but it would only be right and just. Yep. Never flip a land. Why would you? Why would you flip a land when you could flip literally anything else that's castable? Sad day. Sad day indeed. I'm being patient here with this twin shot sniper. Maybe if I zap the samurai, they make an Azusa thing, and then I can just exile all enchantments. I'm worried that they have farewell now. That I just overextended into my doom. I have such a good engine, I don't know if I needed to commit the twin shot sniper. Just play a Greater Tanuki, opponent. That would be lovely. Lots of chocolates for me to eat. Lots of something and something, something. That song from My Fair Lady that gets stuck in my head. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? That movie's pretty good. I like that movie. There's one line in that movie that's just like the most devastating thing I'd ever heard. For those who don't know, My Fair Lady is a movie that has Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison. And he basically like takes the lady that's like selling flowers on the street and turns her into like a lady. And there's this one line where he's like inspecting her and she's like right in front of him. And he's just like, she's so deliciously low. And it's just like the most mean thing I've ever seen anyone say to someone's face in like cinema. It's like he just like treats her like she's not there. It's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So yeah, that's a vibe from that movie. It's just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Obviously, it's not a nice thing to say. It's just so mean that it's like, no, don't do it. Yes. Power of the ninja's kunai loop. This is actually such a sick combo. Yak, oh my god. Look at us go. The twin shot sniper. I like movies. Movies are pretty good. Movies are pretty good. I recently watched the movie Marry Me. First time I've gone to theaters in a long time. Absolutely incredible movie. I loved that movie. Would recommend. 10 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. Just such a good feels-good movie. And it made me laugh a ton. So that's a movie recommendation from me. While we're waiting for Milano and Lawyer to make their play. I know you come here for the MTG strategy tips, but gotta be said, Marry Me was just I just enjoyed it so much. Made me laugh and made me very happy. So, yeah, just in case you needed a little piece of brightness in the world, that movie was really nice. Though, to be fair, I do enjoy romantic comedies, so I might be biased. And as with a lot of things, enjoying a movie is somewhat subjective. So yeah. Oh gosh. I don't normally delve into so much stuff like asking for people's favorite songs and movie recs, but this is just such like a slow, dawdling game. Just taking forever. Just, gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh. I can put them to 1. Classic. 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 They do have a Goro Goro. Oh my gosh, the Goro Goro must die. You killed my Goro Goro. You can't have one of your own. I think I can just kill them, right? Hit for 4. Bring back the... Yep. Never mind. I'll let your Goro Goro watch as you crumble into dust. This is such a sick combo with the ninja's kunai! Your Goro Goro must be tapped. This cannot be allowed to stand up, Goro Goro. I have the true Goro Goro in my graveyard. They have a lot of ancient stuff going on. The ancient wars, the ancient Fang. Azusa is like kind of a memory. I am relevant and current events. Gosh. The fact that I didn't build this deck first is just a travesty. Clearly incredible. Though to be fair, a lot of the times I just don't find the red-white decks to hold up that well. Or I like to sideboard into them in best of 3. And I think I thought my top-end cards were more powerful than they were. They're just not as good as some of the other stuff. My top-end cards are just perfect for this deck. And I actually got there on 2-drops. So, I guess I'm learning as well, everybody. I apologize for misbuilding my deck initially. I don't think it was that bad of a deck. I think this deck is slightly better. I didn't fully appreciate... I just looked at my white cards and I was like, yep, these all suck. And I didn't fully count up, oh, I have a few 2-drops. I've got a combat trick. So yeah, that's on me. My B. I was just like, well, I'm not excited to play any of these cards. But then when you put them together with my incredible red cards, it becomes synergy. Normally the time between matches is short, so I can just talk about the previous game. That game was so long that I was kind of just on autopilot for half of that game anyway. It was like, oh gosh. Just going through the motions. Bring back Ninja's Kunai, attack them. Bring back Ninja's Kunai, attack them. Bring back Ninja's Kunai, use Ninja's Kunai, attack them. Play as Samurai. Kill their Goro Goro. Actually, I didn't kill their Goro Goro. I let the Goro Goro live so I could win the game instead. Ugh. Just a nice, chill time. 1200 years ago, Daimyo Kanta took for himself part of Kagachi, the mightiest kami, which began the Kami War. That part became Hyodai, which is now the guardian of Kamigawa. Did not know that. Actually, I kind of did know that because I had read that exact tooltip before. Okay, we are 1 Ninja's Kunai away from our combo again. We'll keep this on the draw. Red mana with this. Ooh, the red-white mirror. Interesting. is a samurai. Interesting. Worth noting that if they equipped this to something, I do not have any ways to kill artifacts, so that could be a problem. So I'm going to be hitting them for a lot of damage here coming up. I am starting behind in this race by quite a margin, but okay. Yeah, this is going to be the end for us. I'm just gonna hope to draw one of my deal 3s that can deal with Cloud Steel Kieran. I was not going to win this game, even though they had an early flyer. I didn't have one of my deal 3s. Tough loss, but, you know, decent performance by the deck. Learned a lot about Sealed. Hopefully you learned some stuff about Sealed as well. Always look for that sneaky aggro deck, because 15 to 20% of the time it'll be there, and you can have a cool aggro build. My opponent had a good aggro build there. They played that questionable samurai card, but, you know, it got the job done. And we made it to 5 and 3. Pretty good performance. 1 and 1 with the first build, and then 3 and 2 with 4 and 2 with the second build. So pretty nice win rate for that one. And if you did enjoy this video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more draft content, and comment down below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. If you did make it all the way to the end of this video, in the comments section down below, leave hashtag #GoGoGoroGoro or hashtag goodbye Goro, because farewell Goro were our 2 main cards. Or you could leave like hashtag Yamazaki combo, because we got that sweet like loop going. I didn't even see that like as a thing for our deck to do, but then it just kind of took over that game, which was sweet. You could find links in the description down below to the NicolaiBolas Patreon if you'd like to support my content, join the community of folks helping me continue to make videos, and gain access to exclusive rewards in the process. You can also find linked in the description down below the NicolaiBolas Discord server, the NicolaiBolas Twitter, the NicolaiBolas merchandise store, and the NicolaiBolas articles. You can also just remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment. That is going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.